It is naive to assume that what the internet is for, that question is going to be settled by users in North America or Europe. What the internet can do, what our network lives are going to be about, are questions that are going to be answered by the huge populations in places like India.
I remember when growing up, you could count the cars in an hour. It was a quiet spot under this big tree, and all the uncles and grandpas would sit and read their newspaper, and there'd be a chai wala, and you sip your coffee or chai, and then how that starts to fragment, literally in the last 15 to 20 years, becoming really from a pensioner's paradise to a tech boomtown, right? And I feel like people are struggling with that, of their own identities within this kind of global world that they are inevitably seeing.
Look at the way you collect data. Your Google Maps only cover villages above 1,000 population. Most of these are hamlets. So every year history is disappearing and there is no storyteller. For me, the beauty of internet would be if it goes back to storytelling. I want to be able to download 1 million stories. I don't want to download information.
Suddenly people with computers and with minimum gear can get involved in activities that previously were in the $1 million threshold and only large corporations could participate. And this is the massive opportunity.
We have changed into a networked creation of history. There will be a lot more points of view. It may not be right or wrong, because there is no right or wrong in this context. There could be various moments of truth.
I had studied things like constructivism, experiential learning, collaborative learning. But when I see Hole in the Wall, and of course now School in the Cloud, I can actually see what it means. Constructivism. Children are constructing their own learning environment.
Very good. One of the paradoxes I think about thinking about collaboration in India is that the material conditions of India and the inequalities of India make it right for thinking about collaboration models. But it is also ironically then the material conditions that in a way hinder the ability to collaborate.
The largest populations in the world afflicted with the disease are sitting in this country. We need an alternate model to address the question of drug discovery or finding new drugs for neglected diseases.
If we sort of accept that the internet revolution really is this profound, that basically everything needs to get rewritten in this age of smartphones and rapid connectivity, then there's so much work that needs to get done. And at whatever price, this is where there's a potential talent pool that can sort of address these problems.
What we're really trying to do is to create democracy as a new kind of epistemic diversity. And epistemics means diversity of knowledge, diversity of livelihoods, diversity of technologies, and even diversity in the theory of problem solving.